Hi, I'm Caroline Spender, and I'm here today to share with you my Lest We Forget project over the controversial figure named Ella Baker. In this assignment, we were to choose a controversial figure from our area of study and deliver a 5-minute presentation that digs deeper on the importance of our person to further educate others about them. As you do so, you must use visual and audio representation that includes a biography or another source. My historical figure. In this project, I chose to inform you on the life and the importance of Ella Baker. She was an American activist who fought for civil rights. She grew up hearing stories about slavery, which inspired her to fight for what is right. Ella Baker founded several organizations that all in some way push for the fight in civil rights. Not only that, Ella also helped others become leaders so they too can fight for what they believed in. Baker worked very hard in her lifetime and dedicated her whole life to fight for what was right. The biography I chose is called Ella Baker, Community Organizer of the Civil Rights Movement by J. Todd Moy. Her early life. Ella Baker was born on December 13, 1903 in Norfolk, Virginia. Growing up in North Carolina, she developed a sense for social justice early on, due in part to her grandmother's stories about her life under slavery. As Baker heard more of her grandmother's stories, racism and injustice began to inspire Baker throughout her life. Ella studied at Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina. While she was there, she often challenged school policies that she thought were unfair. And in 1927, Ella Baker graduated as valedictorian from Shaw University. She then moved to New York City and began to join several social activist organizations. And in 1930, Baker joined the Young Negroes Cooperative League, whose main purpose was to develop black economic power through collective planning. Her great work. Baker joined the NAACP in 1940 as a field secretary and director of branches between 1943 and 1946. Stated in the biography, Ella Baker, community organizer of the Civil Rights Movement. After Baker heard of the historic bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955, she co-founded an organization called In Friendship to raise money to fight against Jim Crow laws in the Deep South. And in 1957, she moved to Atlanta to help Martin Luther King Jr. organize his new organization, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or the SCLC. She also ran a voter registration campaign called the Crusade for Citizenship. She ended up leaving the SCLC after hearing about the Greensboro sit-ins. This event happened after a group of black college students from the North Carolina A&T University would not leave Woolworth's lunch counter after they were denied service. After this, she planned to assist new student activists and because she saw young, growing students as a resource and an asset to the movement. According to the biography I chose, Baker held a meeting at Shaw University for the student leaders of the sit-ins, and on April 1960, she formed the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, or the SNCC, to further fight for what was right. Her historical record. Ella received a Candace Award from the National Coalition of 100 Black Women in 1984. She was awarded a Doctorate of Letters in 1985 from the City's College of New York. And in 1994, Baker was inducted to the National Women's Hall of Fame. And in 1996, a center was named after her called the Ella Baker Center for Human Rights. What makes her supremely human? Ella was deeply committed to social justice and worked hard to empower others, even in the face of great adversity. She was not afraid to challenge or speak out against what she thought was wrong. She also always put the needs of others before her own. Her courage, compassion, and steady commitment to the cause of justice are what make her a true hero and an inspiration to people around the world. What legacy did she leave? Baker believed in the power of all people, no matter their race or their rank and social class. Not only that, she believed ordinary people had the ability to cause change, inspire others, and even fight for their rights. Because of this, the biography, Ella Baker, community organizer of the civil rights movement, has labeled Baker as one of the most influential and important civil rights leaders of the 20th century. Ella Baker will always be remembered for her hard work and dedication towards civil rights. These are other sources I used in my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about the life and the legacy of Ella Baker.